The global trade war is, well, kind of on pause. So, is it really over? And who actually came out ahead? Congrats, folks, it's Friday. The markets are winding down, and it's time to kick back and think about the whirlwind that was this week. On April 2nd, we witnessed what's now being called Liberation Day. That's when the US launched a blanket 10% tariff on imports from every country in the world, alongside heavy retaliatory tariffs aimed at major trading partners. Trump's aim? Level the playing field and bring manufacturing back to the US. But in doing so, he shook the very foundations of the global financial order. Even Trump acknowledged the pain this would cause, comparing it to Civil War-era surgery. You know, the kind where your only anesthetic is grandpa's old whiskey and a chunk of chair leg to gnaw on. Unsurprisingly, markets panicked. Trillions of dollars vanished almost overnight, as investors feared total economic meltdown. Retirement accounts like 401(k)s took major hits. Stock markets in Europe and Asia plummeted. Even billionaires weren't safe from the damage. Well, everyone except me. While the rest of the world bled money, we invested in something truly stable, the currency of tomorrow, Fartcoin. Anyway. Just when it looked like Trump was dead set on crashing this economic plane with all passengers on board, he pumped the brakes. On Thursday, he put a 90-day hold on most of the aggressive tariffs. The markets, relieved, soared back up. So, is the trade war really finished? Did anyone gain anything, aside from you loyal Fartcoin hodlers? Although the major retaliatory tariffs have been paused, the 10% universal tariff remains. And perhaps, that was Trump's real goal all along. In The Art of the Deal, Trump talks about using the big ask, making an outrageous demand and then negotiating back to what you truly want. Sounds a little like the old 4D chess, right? Well, consider this. Trump shared a video on Truth Social suggesting he tanked the stock market intentionally, pushing investors toward U.S. Treasuries. That would lower interest rates, helping the government refinance its debt. Even more surprising. That theory actually started on 4chan. Yes, 4chan, where I go for financial tips, cartoon fan fiction, and content I probably shouldn't admit to watching. But was it a brilliant strategy? Maybe not. Instead of buying treasuries, many investors dumped them. Prices dropped sharply, only stabilizing after Trump paused the tariffs. Some believe he backed down just to suit the bond market. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, however, claims this was the plan all along. He says he had a long talk with Trump on Sunday and everything is going according to strategy. So, what's actually been achieved? Well, Trump did manage to bring a flood of nations to the negotiating table. According to Bessent, more than 75 countries have reached out, including Argentina, Israel, India, Vietnam, South Korea, and Japan. Instead of retaliating, these nations are seeking deals. They're trying to lower trade barriers and balance trade deficits to avoid steep U.S. tariffs. And according to Trump, they're calling us up, kissing my ass. But one country that's definitely not puckering up is China. Beijing fired back, slapping an 84% tariff on American goods. And here's the catch, while most big tariffs were paused for 90 days, the ones on China stayed in place. In fact, Trump's tariff on China jumped from 104% to 125%. Investor and Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful, says that's not nearly enough.
I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
China's economy is heavily reliant on exports. And since the U.S. is the largest consumer market in the world, if it closes its doors, China could be in serious trouble. Other nations are already reacting. The EU has slapped tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, angering Beijing. That means China may have no choice but to target developing countries. But to compete there, they'll need to make goods even cheaper. That could mean weakening their currency. And that's risky. Wealthy Chinese citizens are already moving their money out, often into crypto. Yes, things are so shaky that people are ditching the yuan for fart coin. Let that sink in. This puts the Chinese Communist Party in a tough spot. Cut exports and lose jobs. Or crash the currency and make food unaffordable. The CCP's legitimacy hinges on raising living standards, not protecting freedoms. If life becomes harder for everyday people, the party's grip on power could loosen. So, who won this round of the trade war? Nobody really knows. It's far from settled. Will it backfire and hurt Republicans in the next election? Will Trump actually strike new deals that benefit the US? Or will China's economy take a dive? Whatever happens, you'll want to stick around and see how it plays out, so go ahead and subscribe for more updates and uncensored analysis.